All right, well, so far I'm 8 minutes and 58 seconds in on watching the new Avatar. I'm going to be honest, it feels like I'm watching uh, the. It's like I'm watching a modern the way that this is filmed and shot, it feels like I'm watching like a modern day Star Wars movie. Um, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet, obviously, because I'm only 9 minutes in. But right now, it's not looking uh, that interesting. But I hope that changes in the next hour. I know I'm only 9 minutes in, but not exactly catching me yet. 11 minutes in, and they just said King Kurik of the Water Tribe and Moroku of the Fire Nation. Okay. I'm just going to be honest, even at the first 30-second mark, I'm not a whole fan of the Death Star plan attack on the Earth Kingdom thing, nor did the Earthbender need to outright say, he's an Earthbender. I think we got it. I don't think you need to tell us that he was an Earthbender. um, yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the whole Death Star plan taking of the scroll saying that they were going to attack the Earth Kingdom, because in the show it was just a surprise attack on the air nomads, and it didn't matter because nobody could get to the air temples because only airbenders are able to access them. So it doesn't really make any sense to me on why they would need to distract the nations for a fake attack on the Earth Kingdom when the air temples usually should only be able to be accessed by air nomads and firebenders with their technology. I'm just a little weird. So Monkey Atso just told Aang that he was special, and he responded in a very weird way, as if like he had any idea what he was talking about. He says, well, I never asked to be special. It's like, well, he just kind of gave you a compliment, and he kind of took it like he already knew what he was going to say, which is weird because you shouldn't know anything about being the Avatar yet until he just told him 10 seconds later. So, like, in the cartoon, if Aang was told that he was special, especially in this early stage of his development, he would go, oh, cool, thanks, I appreciate it, in like a funny, silly kind of Aang kind of way, and he just took it like really seriously, like when he was told he was special. Just very strange. Calling learning the four elements the four disciplines. Why didn't they just do Katara saying the intro like normal? I don't know why. I feel like that's something simple, like that you didn't have to change, you know? Just I'm like, yeah. Like you did the intro, kinda, even though it wasn't exactly how it was said. Why change the voice? Like, I feel like that's just something kind of like simple. It's like when you watch Avatar, it's like everyone knows it for Katara. It's like, okay, I understand you want to do something different, but I don't think it's better. So, in the cartoon, Aang ran away because they were hiding the fact that he was the Avatar and they were going to send him away. So that's what made him run away from his responsibilities. And this, Monkey Atso is telling it all to him flat out. Here's the difference with that. In a child's mind, I think that because if they have this feeling of being thrown out, like that would make them run away. But I feel like the acknowledgement that was given through Monkey Atzo and Aang, because he told him outright and they hugged and they continued to be friends, would almost like nullify that idea of making him want to feel like he needs to run away. So I'm curious how he's going to get in the iceberg. I mean, the actor of Aang is pretty good. I actually like this one way better.
I like to play airball, eat banana cakes, and goof off.
Alright, literally as I just recorded that, they need to stop telling us things. Like, you don't have to tell us. Like, we know how Aang should be. Hang on, that's my son. He's playing. We know how Aang should be. We know he's playful and happy, and that's just Aang. Like, we know. If the show was intended for the people who liked Avatar, then yeah, it's like we already know that Aang is playful. Like, stop telling us your characteristics and your traits. We'll see it. Like, the whole show no tell thing. He just said, well, I'm Aang. I'm happy and I'm playful. It's like, yeah, I know. But Aang would never say that because he just is. Weird. So, again, another thing. At this point, Aang didn't know he was trying to stop a war. Originally, in the show, when they found him in the iceberg, he kind of just ran away. You know? Like, he didn't know he was going to stop a war. So, I can already tell I'm not going to like this. He was just found randomly by Katara and Sokka, and their adventures developed because they needed to get to the water tribe to then learn waterbending, to find Katara a master, and eventually, yeah, just find Aang a waterbending master. Like, and they went on this journey, but they weren't really trying to stop the war. It's like the war was following them, then they had to develop their plans around it, then to then stop the war. But they never like really stated that we needed to stop the war. They kind of just ended up that way by the actions that happened. This one, like, now it's in his mind before he's even in the iceberg that he needs to stop the war. It's like, no, he just ran away from his responsibility of being the Avatar. Like, I feel like they kind of just missed out on that. Okay, so he just said he was scared of being alone. I don't really know why. It was never really his concern. Because he was just, again, like I said, he was running away from his responsibility. I don't think his thoughts were being lonely. I think he was just scared of responsibility. I really wish, I hoped this wasn't gonna happen. So far it looks a little better than Shyamalan's film, but so even my son is grunting. He's in his chair. He's alright, if anyone asks. He's just playing in his swing. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? But, so he left with Appa to go clear his mind. So here we have a child that is actually doing a responsible thing, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of Aang being a child. When you're a child, you make poor decisions. Aang's decision when he was 12 years old in the cartoon was that he needed to run away because it was too much for him to handle that he was the Avatar. Now, this whole kid just got bomb dropped with that he was the Avatar and then he needed to stop a war. And he's just like, I'm going to go clear my head. Damn, this kid is like wicked mature for a 12-year-old. These air nomads must get him starting out young. What a shame. I'll accept the firebender jetpack thing because Ozai was able to do it. Yes, he was a master firebender, but I will accept that scene where they were gonna go attack. Even though it's like, because only master firebender should be able to kind of do that. Even though it's Sozin's comment. Let's keep watching. I think the fight scenes are great. By the way, I forgot to mention, by the way, Aang was like flying in the first scene somehow. I thought he needed a glider. This kid was like, I know he was airbending, like, to kind of make it fall slower, but I didn't know his airbending could be used for him to fall slower. He never did that before. He was just straight up flying through buildings. I guess Aang can fly now. So the whole key struggle between Vegeta and Goku about using the air and the fire like it's the Kamehameha. I don't, like, that's not what, like, airbending isn't like firebending to where you can shoot like consecutive blasts of fire. Airbending is more like almost like a gust of wind. Like it was never really like consecutive wind, and if it was consecutive wind, it was because it was constantly being like whiffed around. But this guy's like straight up just like air for like a long period of time. Like, yeah, in the cartoon there are moments where it was just like big gust, but it was like a and then it dissipated. But now it's just like a consistent beam of air. I know it's something simple, stupid. I do like the fight scene, though. I like how Aang crashed into the water. I liked how they did it at the same time, like overlaying each other. But I'm already gonna be honest. This show wasn't intended, it seems, for Avatar fans. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about like Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. They used Korra music too in the beginning, which was interesting. But it seems like this show was made to appeal to kind of everybody. It doesn't really seem like, which is weird because it's just like, I don't know why, if you made a show for the Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, like why other people wouldn't be able to get along with it. But it looks like the intent was to make the show for a lot of different types of people. It doesn't really look like it's for Avatar fans. I'm 20 minutes in on the first episode. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's not for me, though. I'm an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan and, like, the cartoon, but this show just so far isn't doing it for me. Every minute that goes by, I'm kind of just like, yeah, but they wouldn't do that. I did like some of the fight scene, though, where she did, like, the wind tornado, and, you know, that's really it. But, yeah, let's keep watching. I guess Fire Lord Sozin's impervious to air because of a fire shield. Interesting. Don't tell us you have the power of the comment. We already know. I feel like they started this backwards. They should have started with the Water Tribe and then gave the backstory as the story progressed. So why is Sokka telling girls to get on their shifts? The whole point is that the only women that were there were... So, all the female waterbenders, or just waterbenders in general, gotten killed. And, the men had to go fight in the war. So, if that's the case, then that means there were little girls left behind. Yeah, but he was training... No, because Sokka was training like a group of little boys in the cartoon. There were no girls. But now there's girls that he's training. Even my son's getting upset about it. I'll go get him. No sarcastic Sokka. for getting water splashed on his head. Why does it matter if, like, they know she's a waterbender? Like, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the Fire Nation believes that they took out all the waterbenders in the southern tribe. Why is she hiding it from the rest of the tribe? The rest of the tribe already knows. Like, it only matters, like, if someone in the tribe's gonna rat her out. I don't understand. An otter can bend more water than I could. That's my son's foot. Sokka and Katara are talking way too much during this boat scene. Like, all you needed to do was a couple things of water bending here and there, and people would have understood, oh, she's bending water, she's moving water. Just like the original concept. Like, I don't understand why they need to explain everything. Is it because they need to run the clock on the showtime? Just let it ride. Let us watch it. Stop talking. He couldn't tell that the boat was picking up speed because of the rushing waves next to him. So Katara activated the orb of ice by bending. Before she was concerned because she saw something inside of it. She saw Aang. And even though she was just not going to get anywhere, she was trying to break it with a sword. But it ended up what was causing it, but now she's bending water. Zuko has an eyebrow. I think they were going for more of she was bending the wrong thing by accident. I'm kind of okay with this because she was like bending the ice, I'm assuming by accident, where she was trying to grab the boat, but she accidentally broke the iceberg behind her free. I'll let that one go. So my thing with the water tribe is that it's like really developed. The whole point of it being not developed in the cartoon was because the Fire Nation just left that scar on the world of, you know, being able to do what they want and taking all the waterbenders. So it showed like the impact of how it affected the southern water tribe. And this, I mean, even though there's a war going on, it looks like they're doing pretty damn good. They got a town, and there's like a lot of people, and every little kids look happy playing. It actually looks like a really nice place. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It doesn't. Yeah, it's just not working. So Aang can fly? What the heck is this?
Have you seen Appa?
Appa was supposed to be the one that took them back instead of the canoe because the canoe got destroyed. But he didn't know how to fly yet. I don't know why the grand reveal. I don't know. This is just really bad. Now this video is like the stages of grief. It's just like now I'm just really disappointed. It feels like I'm watching a Star Wars movie with with Shyamalan. It feels like the Shyamalan movie all over again. This is just, what a shame. They missed the whole purpose.
Fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony.
Why is Gran
Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them.
Why is Gran?
The world needed emotion. He vanished. And so the Fire Nation marched and laid waste.
Why does she have a plaque of the four nations in the water tribe? I'm so confused. This is... Fuck, man. We're never gonna get a good live action adaptation. And you know what? We don't need it because we still have the original. Jesus Christ, they fucking missed out. It's the Shyamalan movie all over again.
No one visits other nations.
Oh my god.
Only friends with their own kind.
I don't know why They keep doing this. Even my son isn't happy about it. They didn't go on the Fire Nation ship.
I don't understand. Come on,
Who are all
let's get
these
this
other, like, troops that they have, like, walking around the village? Like, the water tribe looks like it's doing great.
Well, burn this place to the ground.
They would have just barged in already.
Where is he?
You can't do this. You can't give him to
Well, I just stopped watching. There's no point. Yet another missed the ball on the whole reason on what made Avatar good in the first place. I'm sure people are gonna... I'm sure all the modern day Avatar fans, the ones that, you know, didn't grow up with the show, are gonna be like, oh, you're an idiot and you don't know anything and the show is good. You can't judge it because, you know, it's still just a good show at its core. Yeah, I'm gonna judge this show. It sucks. What a shame. I guess I'm that 10% that's not gonna like the show. I just feel like they missed the ball. I see what they're trying to do. Nah, they totally missed the whole idea of why. I don't know. They just missed it, man. What a shame. Alright, well, this is the only video I'm going to be making about this until I'll probably make like 2 videos, because once I get a whole bunch of comments on why people say I'm a retard, I will kindly respond to them. So yeah. What a shame. What a damn shame. It's just like, I don't know how, like, yeah, I gotta take care of my son.